Today being March the 12th and me getting my first paycheck tomorrow on March the 13th, it is time for us to do a monthly budget with me. I like to do a monthly budget to lay out everything that I'm planning on doing for the month, and I break down my bills inside this little journal that I got when I was in Seattle, but then I also break down in the Complete Easy Cash Budget Weekly Planner all the bills that I have for the month that are going to be going out, as well as everything that I want to do as far as sinking funds, how much I want to spend out of my cash envelopes, and how much I want to put towards savings or paying off debt. And where I don't always stay exactly on track with what I plan out for the month, it does give me like a roadmap of where I'm actually headed. So I'll now know, okay, if I want to spend only $600 this month on groceries and my first check, I take $250, then I have another $350 for the second check in order to take some out of there. Or let's say I only take $200 out of the second check, then I can take some from my side income towards groceries. But it gives me an overall game plan that I can reflect back upon and then stay within budget for certain categories. Now, sometimes things do come up and not everything stays exactly perfect to how it should be, and that's okay. Then we make adjustments and accommodations as we do the per pay period budget, because I break down this monthly budget into a per pay period budget, and every time I get paid, I chip away at some of the things that I had planned to achieve for the month. That comes directly off this monthly budget. So if I don't have a game plan and I get paid, then I'm not sure exactly what I'm supposed to be doing out of this first, second, third check. And that's the reason why I like to lay it all out before I receive my first check of the month. This particular month, though, my first check is not coming until tomorrow the 13th. So what we're going to do is go ahead and lay out everything today. So by the time I get my check tomorrow, I already know exactly what bills I need to pay, how much I'll be putting into my cash envelopes and sinking funds, and I'll have a roadmap for success. And if that sounds like something that interests you, then let's get right into the video. Okay, so again, I'm using the Complete Easy Cash Budget Weekly Planner. This planner can be found linked down below in my Amazon storefront if you're interested in the physical book. They're all less than $20. I do have one for weekly budgeters, bi-weekly, monthly. So there's something for everybody down there. And then I also have the digital download sheets available in my Etsy storefront. That's also linked down below. So you can head down there in the description or head over to my Etsy shop if you're interested in buying the digital pages. These planners do come with 2-page calendar spreads, which you'll be seeing today, as well as quarterly savings challenges, one per quarter. And then they have monthly budgeting sheets for whatever type of budgeting style you are, but there's also budgeting sheets per your pay period style. So for weekly, there's 5 sheets, bi-weekly 3, monthly, there's an additional sheet for you as well. All right. Okay. So that's everything about the planner that we're going to be using. Let's go ahead and turn to March's budget page. 2-page calendar spread is what I'm looking for. And here it is. All right. We are going to be working on March of 2025. And I did go ahead, instead of taking notes here in the planner, which I could have, I actually used my little journal that I got in Seattle. And I think I'm going to start using this on a regular basis just to keep track of everything that I'm expected to pay and everything that I'm expected to receive. And I want to track it over time. So this will be one good solid place that I can just page flip in order to see what's going on. All right. For right now, though, we do need to add all of these bills into our 2-page calendar spread. First step in making a monthly budget was actually writing down all of my bills here by looking onto each individual payment account of what I have in order to see what the bill amount is. Some of my bills are on fixed rate, and so they're flat every month, but some of them vary from month to month, and I needed to look them up and see what the exact dollar amount was due for March before I got started. To get started, before we actually write down all the bills, I need to write down the dates on the 2-page calendar spread. This planner is undated, so you can use this month for March, for June. Whenever you start is when you start. It doesn't have to go for 1 year completely from January to December. Whenever you purchase the planner, you'll have a year from that. All right, so let me go ahead and start writing these dates in. The first was on Saturday. I was going to use stickers, but I decided to just write it in. So let me just speed you guys up and I'll get this done.
I know that I haven't been who I was. I am supposed to be the one you can trust. I feel so useless cause I let you down. I hope there's some way I can make it alright, cause I know that you deserve much more than this. If you give me one more chance.
All right, so that's all the dates added in. And now we need to just reflect back onto what it is we're getting paid and when. I'm going to start with my income for tomorrow. I already looked it up. It's a little bit over $3,000, but I'm going to budget with $3,000 for tomorrow. And that's going to be RN pay. My next check is going to be on the 27th for my RN pay, and I think it's going to be somewhere around $4,000. I did pick up an extra shift. Next, I have my YouTube pay, and that comes on the 21st. I can already see how much that is. Thank you to everybody who watches my channel. I'll have $1,130 for the short month of February. My book sales is going to come on the 28th, so there's quite a bit that comes on the 28th. We're going to say books and Amazon, which is my Amazon affiliate money. And if we add those two numbers together, that will be a total of $1,560. I'm going to add my Etsy income over here to the last day of the month. And that will be $2,000 is what I'm hoping to achieve. That's the one income that I'm not certain about, but I am going to have an Etsy store launch. Can you guys see? I am going to have an Etsy launch towards the, somewhere around this YouTube pay, around the 22nd, 23rd of the month. And so hopefully I'll have enough in order to collect that. All right, now that we have that done, let me just use the highlighter in order to highlight these dollar amounts because all of the greens are going to be my pay. All right, that's all the pay that I'm expecting for this month. Let me scoot everything back. There we go. All right, next we need to actually write in the bills. So I have them all broken down here. The first bill would be on Xfinity on the 14th. That's for my internet and cable, and that one's $191. So I'm just going to say $192 because it does have some change. Next, on the 16th, I have my LLC. And let's just put it here too because I really want to pay it before then. So we'll say $160. That's for my line of credit. Let's see, the 16th, the 19th, I have to pay Stream, which is my gas bill. And that one's $142. 16, 19, 14. 20th, I have to pay my water bill. And that one's $76.03. Now, I'm going to put 77, but last time they billed me for only like 50-something dollars. I got super excited, and then they came back saying that bill was an error. My bills are typically around 100 and something. So this bill seems extremely low for me. And last month, because of what they did, I'm just not certain that this is really a real accurate bill, but we'll see how it goes. I logged in, and this is what it says right now. On the 22nd, I'm going to pay car insurance. Now, I did already get my car picked up, you guys, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. But for car insurance, I am going to pay one more payment for my Honda, and that car is driven by my son. He's going to be picking up this car insurance. 27, I need to pay my student loans. And that is for $576. And then on the 31st, I need to pay my mortgage. And that is for $800. I also put on the 28th that I want to pay a car loan. And I'll explain that in just a second. But that one, I want to pay at least $1,500. And is that everything? Oh, no. And then Georgia Power on the 31st. Let's just put them on the 29th. Georgia Power. That's my electricity. And that's for $228. I'm just rounding up. All right. So that is all of my bills. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Was that what I had in this book? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. AT&T. I don't remember putting them down. That was on the 27th. Let's put them on the 26th. AT&T. I was like, I missed something. Okay, $262. Okay. All right, now I really do legitimately have all my bills listed here. And I also have a record here inside of my planner that I'll be able to keep up with. So next month we can kind of reflect and see where we were versus where we are, especially for income tracking. And I'll talk about that in my next video to come. So now that we have the layout of the land, I actually want to add all these numbers up and use these to make a budget, a whole monthly budget worksheet. And it says, don't wish for it. Don't wish for it, work for it. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, but before we do that, we do need to add up all the incomes, and I want to highlight all of the bills, and I think I'm going to highlight them in orange so I can make sure that I'm paying everything I'm supposed to pay. All right, so that's the layout of the land for this month. Now let me get the calculator. We'll add up how much income I'm expected to get. 3,000, 1,130, 4,000, 1,560, and 2,000. Okay, so that's 11,690. Let me go ahead and write it over here. All right, and now we need to actually write down all of the bills and what we have for that. Let's see, we have 192 for Xfinity, 160, 142, 77, 176, 262, 576, 1,500, 228, and then 800 for my mortgage. So that's 4113. So let me write that down here under bills. So if we take that minus the 11,690 that we have total, that's 7,577 left. Okay, so that's the amount that we have to now make a plan for. And that's going to be cash envelopes, sinking funds, and some savings challenges. For debt, I already included my car loan back into my actual bills money. Now, let me explain a couple of things here. First of all, my student loans, I had started paying those back last month. And so that's the payment that I need to pay for that. My car loan, I did a shared secured loan against a portion of my car repairs. If you're new here, I have a car that I repaired and it cost about $11,000. Well, at first, to make myself accountable, I was going to put all of the money into my bank account and then do a shared secured loan for the payments. And I did that for the first half of the actual parts of the purchase, which was $5,276. But when it came time for me to actually go pick up the car, instead of taking it to the bank and getting a shared secured loan, which all of that was just to make myself accountable to pay myself back and put it back into savings, I decided just to pay it. And I'm going to make large lump sum payments to this loan. And after that, large lump sum payments to my savings account. For a shared secured loan, once I make these payments of $5,276, this money will be available in my savings account. But for the other portion of the $11,000, which was about $5,500, that amount, I actually am just going to be paying it to myself in savings, and I'm thinking I'm going to do about $1,500 a month. I might do a little bit more as my income increases, okay? But that's the explanation for this car loan. I borrowed it against my own money, so I'm really literally just paying myself back. All right, now for cash envelopes, I do like to reflect on what I did for last month. And even though I don't think I stayed on track, I want to this month with all of my might stay on track with this goals. So I think I'm going to copy the majority of these, except for gas will be a higher expense because I'm back inside of my Ford Edge. And that car, I just filled it up today and it took $45 for one fill up. So it's really going to be about $200 for the month for gas instead of $100 for the little Honda Insight that I used to have. So let's start with groceries first. And because my guy does give me cash that's not included in this money, some of his portion does go towards groceries. For me and Jace's portion, $600 sounds sufficient. Gas, we just talked about that. And for gas, I want to put in $200 for gas because I need about $50 a week now. Weekend fund, which this might decrease once I start working from home, which is going to happen very soon. Weekend fund. I've really been enjoying having weekends out with my kids. I'm going to put $200. We've been doing like a dinner night at least once a month where we all get together, my adult child as well as my two adult children. Oh my goodness, Janae's an adult. Yeah, my two adult children and my youngest child, we all get together and go to dinner. And so that is part of the weekend fun money. But also if we want to like hit the movies or something, that's what that's for. Stunkin', which is for Starbucks and Dunkin'. I'm going to get back to drinking this when I'm at work, but for this month is the last month I'll be at work. After that, I'll be working from home, and I don't think I'll be going out for stunkin' runs. So we're going to put $40 for this month. Kids, which is Jace's money, he still wants to run to the gas station. You guys, we just went this morning and got gas, as well as got him some snacks. For myself, I'm going to budget for $50, and I don't know if I'll need it, but I'm going to do it just in case. And then eating out. I do want to minimize the amount of eating out. But to be realistic, I'm going to put $250, which is a little bit more than last month. I feel like we overspent this category in other ways. So I want to add a little bit more, but then keep a realistic track of what I've been eating out. And then nails is the last one. And I'm just put it up here. And that's going to be $70 for me to get my nails done. I only get them done about once a month. They're still hanging in there and they look beautiful. Okay. So with that being said, let's add all this up. 70 for nails, 600, 200, 200, 40, 20, 50, and 250. So that's $1,430 that I want to spend on cash envelopes. And we take that from the 75.77. We're down to $6,147. Also, since I didn't include my guy's money, my income is a little bit higher than this because it's not really earned income, but it is money that I receive from my guy towards the bills and towards some food. So I'm not accounting for that, but I will bring that as just like a bonus cash stuffing, some of the money here and there. All right, now we need to work on sinking funds. Now, last month I put $3,450 in sinking funds. Or at least was supposed to. Minus $3,450. Wait. $6,147 minus $3,450. That'll leave me with $2,600. That's more than I had last time. Debt has already been taken care of in the bill money. So I think I might copy this. I do want to do that live. I'm thinking is $200 enough for that. I think it should be. HOA, life happens, beauty, clothing, birthdays. Janae's birthday is in April, so I got to make sure I have enough for that. Car, I want to continue to save for car, even though I just got my car fixed because I am interested in getting some new tires for that car. If you guys don't remember, I had just got tires when the car broke down last time, when the engine went out. And I had spent about $700 on tires. Well, after that happened, the car sat for quite some time. And now it kind of has a little bit of a wobble. Nate says he doesn't feel it so much, but I do. And I asked them about it, and they said it was probably the beginnings of dry rot for the tires, and I probably needed new tires. So I'm going to work on trying to get new tires probably this month. Car, 300. Birthdays. And if I short another category in order to get the tires, I will be okay with that. But I also want to see if I can come up with some extra money. So you never know what's going to happen. Okay. All right, 100. Gingy, who's making all the noise on a plastic bag right now. 150. Clothing, we'll do 300. That's quite a bit. So we might be able to dip some of that. Beauty, 200. Life happens. And I guess if I needed to take some out of life happens, I could take it out of there as well. HOA. I haven't put anything towards HOA this year, and I need to put that $50. Glasses. Oh, wait, HOA had 100. And then glasses had 50. Travel. I put 500. That's another place that I can take some out if I really need to. And then giving, but I don't want to. And giving, 200. All right, so that is the exact copy of what we had last time, which should be $3,450. And when we take the $6,147 minus the $3,450, we should have $2,697 left. Towards the college binder, I want to do at least 2 large envelopes. So I'm going to say 1,000. Even though the highest is 460, I'll do like 400, maybe 3 envelopes if I can pull it off. But $1,000. And then savings challenges will get the rest. which will be $1,697. And that should be a total of $2,697. And that should be a zero-based budget. Now let's add all this up just to make sure that this is actually working. For income, we have $11,690. I talk about in my next video, in a video where I chat with you guys, that I'm trying to break into the next income bracket. So I really have some goals for myself, and over time, I want to track my amount of income that I'm receiving and see if it does increase. I've been doing a lot of mental work about moving to the next step. And so you guys will see, and when I make it there, I'll let you know, oh, this is exactly what I was talking about, okay? Bills, $41.13, but I also want it to be a regular amount. I feel like right now my budgets have typically been somewhere around like $11,300, $11,000. So somewhere between $11,000 and $12,000 is pretty much my sweet spot, and I'm comfortable there, but I want to be comfortable a little bit higher. There was a time when I made $4,000 a month, and I listened to this audio course that a friend shared with me that she had purchased for $1,100 by this lady named Amanda Francis that was talking all about your money mindset. And she said in that video, I remember it was some years ago, but she said, you have to do the mental work in order to go to the next level. And at that time, I was like, if I can just get to $10,000 months, I think that would be that would make me feel comfortable. But it took a lot of mental work to get to a $10,000 month and get there and stay there stay there consistently, because there's a lot of, back talk in your mind that tells you like, are you sure you need that much? Or are you being greedy to ask for that? Or more money, more problems, all of the things we've heard, over the years. And so I did a lot of mental work in order to elevate my income. And over time, things transpired, AKA here, Etsy, YouTube, Amazon, book sales, things like that, and got to a higher level of income. And even my nursing income went up. So I got to a higher level of income. But now I feel like I want to go to the next level. And what that will entail, I don't know, because I had no idea all of this would flourish in this way, right? So what it entails, I don't know. But I want you guys to be a witness to the journey, and hopefully you'll use some of the gems that I'm dropping throughout different videos to elevate your lives as well. Because that's what it's all about. This is not just about me coming up, but it's about all of us coming up. And if you see me, then maybe that'll be, the witness that you need in order for you to do it for yourself. Okay, that's enough of all that. Let's move on to cash envelopes. It is $1,430. Sinking funds is $34.50. And then finally, savings challenges is $26.97. Now let me just make sure that all adds up. Minus 4113, $1,430, $34.50, and $26.97. Okay, that's right. So that is a zero-based budget. And now we have a master plan of what we should be accomplishing. I will be getting my RN pay tomorrow, but I do have to work tomorrow too. So I don't know if I'll be able to bring it right away, but I am going to be bringing a budget and cash stuff from our RN pay, and you'll get a chance to see how I chisel off some of these things along the way. My cash envelopes are empty, okay? I have no money in there. And I also need to pay back a couple of things that I've actually spent on. One being, I took some money out of my envelope, my sinking fund, in order to pay for the registration for the car. It was $100. But I also need to pay for the insurance. I put it onto a credit card. It was $260, and I want to pay that back. Now, I did under budget what I'm earning from my book sales. Where's that at? Here. I undershot this. So I literally can pay it back out of that, the extra that I'll be getting from there if I need to. And my nursing income, my second check, might be a little bit higher than this as well. So I do have the means to pay it back without tapping into the funds that I use for this budget. But overall, that's something that has to be going on in the background for real, for real. Okay, I'm breaking in, you guys, editing Sleece. I was editing the video because I'm about to get it out. But I realized I didn't do any updates on how I felt about the car or my emotions around picking up the car and driving it. And before I give this little bit of juice and disclaimer, I want you guys to know that in no way, shape, or form am I undermining anything that has transpired for me. So if you've been here for some time, then you know that my car engine went out, and I had the car sitting for like 2 years, and I had to do a lot of mental work around taking the money from my savings account and actually paying for that car. But to get out of the Honda that I was in. Now, my mom gave me her little small Honda to drive, and I was driving it, and very, very grateful for that opportunity because I didn't have a car payment at all, right? So there was hardly any expenses. The car was a hybrid car. It hardly used any gas. I had a minimum car insurance payment. She paid it for quite some time. And then I told her, like, hey, you don't have to pay it anymore. I'll pay it. It was $176. I started paying only that. Well, my oldest son needs a car. And so I wanted to get out of that car, but I just didn't see myself actually purchasing a new car. And I've had conversations on this channel about that before. So I went ahead and told my oldest son he can have the Honda, which he's super grateful to have it. He's been using the train system here in order to get back and forth to work. And this car is going to afford him an easier commute around the city and to get groceries and things that are really going to help him. He's not had a car for about 3 years and has been working the train system to get back and forth to work. But he's super excited to have a car, and all he has to do is pay the car insurance. The car that I got fixed, are you guys talking about joy? I really should have vlogged that whole pickup of that car because it's like, I went to go pick up the car and I paid the additional amount. I paid it in cash. I took the money out of my sinking fund that I had in the car maintenance. I went to the bank and got the rest of it out of my savings account and paid the balance of the car. Okay. And after I did that, I got in the car to drive it home, and I didn't have insurance on it and I didn't have the tag yet. So I called while I was driving it home to add the insurance policy. And that's how I ended up putting it on the credit card because I was just on the road. I'm like, put it somewhere. I'll get the cash later. You know what I mean? And I really could take that money out of my buffer. When I got in the car in order to drive it, I just remembered how much I love that car. And I know it's not like the biggest, most fanciest, Mercedes, Tesla, whatever, Tahoe, nothing like that. Telluride, because I thought about buying a Telluride, remember? It's not that, but it's like, it was almost like a 2022 capsule. First of all, I went in the car and I saw an N95 mask from back when COVID was hot and I had to keep my N95 and wear it to work. So that was still in there. I saw some receipts from 2022 in the door. I'm like, this is like a little mini time capsule. I saw some sunflower seeds that I had. And at the time I used to eat sunflower seeds on the regular because my iron was so low, it was having me crave all these salty foods. Those were still in there. And I was like, this is like a 2022 time capsule, first of all, which was pretty funny. But aside from that, once I started actually driving the car, I was so grateful. I cannot explain to you the level of gratitude for that car that I don't remember having before. I always loved that car. When I shop for other cars, I've always compared it to the feeling that I had driving that car. And I was like, I loved my Edge. Like nothing was wrong with the car. And then all of a sudden, poof, the engine went bad. And it was like almost within a matter of a week, I had to get a whole nother replacement of an engine from just a check engine light where I'm thinking I need a tune-up to a full engine replacement, and I had to park it. And so I just wasn't expecting that, Now that I got back into the car, I remember how much I love that car. It's such the small things that I am so grateful for having, like the push to start. I don't have to put a key in the ignition, like the Bluetooth on the radio so I can watch my YouTube videos, hear you guys' videos while I'm driving. Even if I'm not watching them, I can hear what people are talking about. I was watching Sue's Budget on my Bluetooth just this morning when I was taking Jace to school. And I was like, oh my gosh, I could not do this in that Honda. Things like so much space in the car. My son got in the back seat. He was able to recline the back seats recline. So he was able to recline the back seat to like almost a laying down position. And I told him, I said, well, we're going to drive to Florida. We'll probably take this car. He was like, oh, I don't mind if we take this car. He was like, in the Honda, we wouldn't have made it. But I mean, he's so tall now. My youngest is as tall as me. And to sit in that back seat of that Honda was just squished for him. And now there's so much space. It also just feels heavy. Like in comparison to the little Insight, it's like a little golf cart is what I would used to call it. And now when I get in the Ford, I'm like closing the door. It's like a tank. I told Nate, I'm going to ride the tank to go up to Zaxby's and get some food for Jace. And he's like laughing at me because I called it the tank, but it's like so heavy, so just a different feeling altogether. And where my son is 1000% so grateful to have the Honda, I am in the same vein, so grateful to be back in my Edge. And it was worth every penny that I spent. the amount of joy and just pure gratitude, I literally could well up with tears because there was a time when I couldn't do this. Whether financially couldn't do it, whether mentally couldn't spend the money, there's just so much that is changing in my life. And I'm so, so, so happy to have that car back. So I wanted to share that with you guys because you guys have been here the whole journey. Some of you guys have been here even before the car broke, when I used to say, oh, I don't need to put any money in my car maintenance fund because I have a new car and nothing's going to go wrong. Wrong idea. So I'm definitely going to be stuffing my car sinking fund from this point moving forward, just in case anything happens. But yeah, I am just so grateful for that car right now and the way that it makes me feel when I'm driving it. I just thought I'd add that in. All right, I think that is everything for today. We are going to be doing a budget and cash stuff very, very soon, but I do have a special kind of video coming tomorrow, and I hope you guys have a chance to check it out. For tonight's video, we have come to the end. The budget has been set, and now we're going to see exactly how we can meet our goals for the month of March. I don't know if it's spring, time change, what it is, but I find myself being more and more focused on kind of like spring cleaning of my finances, really staying on top of what it is that I'm budgeting and what it is I say I'm going to do as far as sinking funds and savings challenges, even the college binder, and not deterring from that. Well, I do have a spring break trip planned, and I'm going to need some money for that. I'll figure out in the budget how I can actually make that work. And then you also know I'm saving for my trip to Japan in the summer. So there's a lot to be done, but I want to kind of do it the way that I structure it out and stay on task with that. So that's something you guys should look forward to seeing more of. And yeah, if you made it all the way to the end of this video, whether you're new to this or true to this, put this one single emoji right here letting me know that you made it. Also, don't forget to like this video because it helps it to be suggested to other people who need to see that sitting down and doing your monthly budget, as taxing and time-consuming, no, it's not even time-consuming, as tedious as it can be, it really does help in the long run to set yourself up for a successful month. And lastly, share this video with someone if you think that they would benefit. And I will see you guys all in the next video, which is a little something different, and I hope you check it out. All right, I think that's everything for today. I will talk to you soon. Take care.